Dreams about cars are not about travel. They're about timing. They're about direction. They're about control. And let me tell you that who is driving the car in your dream is way more important than you think. And today I am going to share a dream with you that's a little bit vulnerable because even though this dream was from about 4 years ago, it was March of 2022, it's just now playing out in my life. I think it's important to bring it to you today, however, because it shows how when you track your dreams, they impact the way you make decisions in life, at least if you track them the way I do. Let me walk you through what we're going to look at today. What vehicles represent in your dream? There are a lot of things. The biggest one is you. The vehicle represents you and what the type of vehicle it is, the color of the vehicle, all of those things matter generally when it's talking about you at a personal level. It also could represent like your life path. I had one of those dreams where someone was driving the car and then it was like flooding, but that person was just plowing through the natural disaster like we were going to get to our destination. So it can show a season of life that you're just plowing through obstacles. It also goes to momentum and pace, and those are part of the feelings of the dream that you're going to pay attention to. A very important part is personal agency, and that's what I'm going to talk about in my personal dream story today is my own personal agency that was brought out and the feelings, reflections, and consequences of what happened in the dream. It can point to decision making on some level, depending on the other parts of your dream. And this is the biggest one. It can point to seasons of movement, forward movement, backward movement, moving out of the way. And it can also point to seasons of waiting, which tends to be parking lots, parked cars, or navigating around parked cars. And I'm going to share with you this kind of vulnerable, happening right now dream. But first, I want to talk to those that are new here. I do dream interpretation every day. I love dream interpretation. I eat, breathe, and sleep it. I'm doing my own dreams every day. I'm interpreting dreams for others every day. I have a community for interpreting dreams. And if you care about this topic, if this resonates with you, please hit the like button and subscribe so you know when new videos come out. Also, it'll tell the algorithms that people like you like this content. All right, so let's dig in to meanings. One really important part of your car dream to pay attention to is your position, where you're sitting, who's driving. Those are incredibly important. They are often more important than the car itself. Are you in the driver's seat? That means that you are driving this portion of your life forward. Are you in the passenger seat? That means something else is driving. If you don't know who's driving the car, oftentimes that means a higher power is driving this part of your life. If you're in the back seat, it can represent a loss of control or someone else is controlling this portion or this season of your life. That will definitely matter as to who's driving. Now, brakes failing or a sudden stop, and a sudden stop is what's going to come and play into this dream I'm about to share with you. That is huge in a dream. That is showing a large season shift, a warning, a timing adjustment. And this is what I'm going to go over in the dream. All right, so this dream was from March 28th of 2022. So that's next month. It'll be 4 years. And four seems to be really important as I've tracked my dreams. A lot of my dreams from 4 years ago are now actually starting to play out. That's really, really cool. It's really, really interesting month by month to go back to my dream dictionary, pull up the dreams that happened 4 years ago, right now, this month, and see like it just ideas start sparking. Now, this one I actually referenced or I came back to a number of months ago, and it has very much impacted how I'm making decisions right now. And I'll walk you through it. I was driving with Aaron in the passenger seat pretty quickly down the highway when all of a sudden, remember those feelings, when all of a sudden I slammed on the brakes because we were at the end of a toll road. I narrowly missed hitting the person in front of me, but the person behind me hit. And I believe there was something about being hit with a package of diaper wipes. I won't explain that. We all go out, get out of our cars. And I could tell that the person I hit in front of me was not a happy camper, possibly a businessman of some sort. And the guy behind me explained that he just didn't have enough time to stop. I was sitting on, now this is like the next part of the dream. You know how dreams can transition. Now I'm sitting on a bench with my big green grass blanket I got for Christmas and two officers. One of them uses the corner of the blanket, but I had no shirt on. I'm going to explain that. I have a lot of those. I had no shirt on. So, in order to get ready to own up to this accident, I had to take the blanket. I apologized and said I was just not appropriately dressed. This is all really important. This is why this is a warning dream for me. I covered myself up, went to the car and got a sweater on, and then brought the blanket back to the cops. I don't know if I gave it to the cops or not after that point. I couldn't find the cops and wondered aloud to Aaron if they would just deal with the situation via our license plate. We were getting ready to go when our names were called to a specific room. So we went in order to deal with the situation. And I remember thinking that I needed to apologize to Aaron because this was definitely going to affect our insurance. I remember realizing that my seat was too low on the driver's seat and it was a long way. So maybe I was getting a little drowsy, but I wasn't sure about that. It was mostly kind of like being on cruise control with my seat too low. So I wasn't able to see properly over the windshield. Otherwise, I would have seen the end of the toll road coming. I told myself if I had just sat up higher, I would have seen everything plainly and been able to slow down, and that would have prevented the person behind me from hitting me. And I would do that from now on. This is a very powerful dream, and I'm actually not going to break down all the symbols today. I am going to concentrate on the overarching story or narrative that this dream is trying to warn me about. So, in this particular dream, this car is representing a season of my life. And a toll road means, well, there's a couple things. First, I'm driving. So, I am driving this toll road. This is a season of my life where I am having to push through, I guess you could say. I'm really having to manually or maybe white knuckle my way through this season. And toll road is interesting because it meant that I'm paying my way. I am paying my own way through this difficult journey that this is representing. A few other things that really stand out to me is that there are consequences to what I did. There's someone behind me that doesn't realize that I'm going to come to a stop so quickly, so they hit me. And that's a relational impact. There's someone in front of me. So, like someone from my past, maybe. There's someone in front of me. So, someone in my future that's going to feel impacted by this abrupt stop to this season in my life. And then there's also impact to my insurance and a blanket and cops. And all of this represents authority and covering. And this abrupt stop that I don't come to in the right way, that I'm not prepared for properly because I'm not properly dressed, no shirt on up top, that can show vulnerability or not being ready. Oftentimes I have those and it's a good thing. Like I feel confident about it because that vulnerability is needed in that season. But in this dream, it's represented in this season that this toll road season that I wasn't prepared for the stop. This was sobering, but that's why the dream matters. And the fact that I pulled this dream back up a while ago and have been ruminating on it and letting it impact my decisions during what is a very tough season, a year that has been really tough for me. So, as this toll road season comes to an end, I'm remembering this dream and I'm remembering that because I wasn't sitting up high enough. Did you get that in the dream? I was on cruise control. That is a mindset that thinks, I know where I'm going. I know what I'm doing. I know the process to do it. I don't need to be as actively involved. And because I was not as actively involved or on cruise control and I'm sitting too low, I cannot see from an emotional standpoint. From an emotional and a spiritual standpoint, I cannot see that, oh my gosh, I'm about to be at the end of this toll road. And boom, I cause interpersonal relationship issues because of it. Because I recognized what this dream is telling me because I have it in a dream dictionary and I go over my dreams regularly. And I brought it up and recognized, okay, a toll road and the feelings in the dream really feel like what's happened over this year that I have been walking out. So it's a good thing because that means that it's the end of the toll road that I am paying my own way through. But the way it ends is now within my grasp. It's now within my control. You see how I end the dream by saying, next time I'll do it differently. What the dream was saying is, pay attention, Nicole. Pay attention to the symbolism on what I'm telling you, that when you come to the end of this hard season, if you don't sit up higher on an emotional and personal and spiritual level, if you don't come up higher and look outside of conventional wisdom, keep your eyes open, you're going to cause interpersonal issues at the end. And it's going to cause you your covering, and it's going to cause you your authority. Well, it's going to cause authorities around you to hold you accountable. I was brought into a room, so I'm being brought into accountability. And I'm saying I caused this accident and I will do it differently next time. And guess what? Because of the dream, I am trying to do it differently. And this is where the vulnerability comes in and sharing this dream with you, but why I also think it's important. The vulnerability is it's not done. I am still ending the toll road. And I don't have all the answers to all the symbolism in this dream. And it's a heavy dream. That is a warning dream. If you wanted to know what a warning dream is, I just told you what it is, because there were consequences. There were things I did, not done to me, things I did because I didn't come up high enough to see and respond appropriately and come to a slow, methodical, well thought out stop at the end of the toll road. Does that make sense? But the dream itself, remember, warning dreams are not there to cause frustration or fear. They're there to protect you. And that dream was brought up at just the right time for my protection. And because I interpreted it, and even though, here's the important part, even though I don't have all the answers to the dream, even though I don't know every single part of it, even though I can only guess at the person that hits me from behind and the person I hit in front of me, I can only make guesses. I'm guessing. I'm taking steps. I'm protecting relationships around me. And I'm trying to come up higher intellectually, emotionally, whatever that looks like in each part of the phase of coming to the end of the toll road. Do you see how important it is? Dreams will give you direction. And here's what I want to tell you about your own vehicle dreams. Pay attention to what kind of vehicle it is. Now, in my dream, I just shared with you that I have no idea what vehicle it was. It doesn't matter because that was not the part of it. But I have interpreted dreams for others where the vehicle represented them in such a truth-filled way. It was the key symbol. Okay. Next, was I moving too fast? That's a question you want to ask. In the dream, are you moving too fast? And for me, yes, I was moving too fast at cruise control, and I caused interpersonal issues because of that. Next one, did I have visibility? This is a great example in my dream. No, I did not have visibility because I was sitting too low emotionally. I was sitting too low intellectually, and I needed to come up higher. And here's a really important part. Who else was part of that dream? Who else are you impacting? And what my dream showed is I was impacting at least 3 different people in very significant ways. And that sobered me. If you made it all the way through to the end of this episode, thank you so much for watching. I love talking about dreams, and I hope you enjoyed it too. If you did, hit the subscribe button because this channel is only here because of you. And if you want to dive deeper into your own dreams, I have a free community for that. See the link below.